All right, this is Mike Johnson, and here we are in the Social Deals Engine, and we're going to be talking about the PayPal Adaptive Payments extension for the Social Deals Engine. Now, very quickly, go into your Social Deals Engine main menu, go to your main settings, click on your main settings link, and that should bring you to your general settings, and then slide over to your Payment Gateways tab here, and click on Payment Gateways, and bring you to the current page that we're on. Now, this might look a little different than the latest version of Social Deals Engine, but you're going to get the same idea. Now, what you're going to do here, of course, is ensure that you've installed the PayPal Adaptive extension and that it's activated so that it appears here. If it's not appearing here, you've not properly installed the extension and activated it. Okay, so very simple. Just do that and it will appear here. Now select it, and we're going to scroll down to where your first PayPal settings are. Now ensure your normal PayPal, your PayPal email address is there. Okay, input your PayPal email address, your primary PayPal email address in that block. Then we're going to continue scrolling down until we get to the PayPal Adaptive Settings. This section here, license key, is the license key that you generate when you purchase the plugin, extension to receive automatic updates to the extension. That's just your normal license key goes in here. This has nothing to do with PayPal itself. This is just a license key from WP Social that goes in this section. Okay, now moving on, we have two sections here that basically do the same things, except one's for test and one's for live. Very easy. All you have to do is get your first set of credentials here, which is your API username, your API password, and your API signature, all come from your PayPal account. Down here where it has the tests, this is going to be the same exact API username, password, and signature. Okay, same exact thing. The difference is then your live app ID and your test app ID are two different IDs, app IDs, and they come from the developer account at developer.paypal.com, which also used to be and still is x.com because they're in beta right now. So go ahead and go to your PayPal account, and in your PayPal account, go use your menu and click on your profile link, and I'll bring you to your profile page. And here we are in my profile page in PayPal. You scroll down through the account information section, and we're going to click on the request API credentials link. Okay, now when you get there, you're going to get two different options. You're going to get your PayPal API option and your PayFlow Pro option. Now we're looking for API credentials. So what we're going to do is click on Set Up PayPal API Credentials and Permissions. Click on that link. And it's going to give us two more options. Now here, what we're working with here with Social Deals Engine is a pre-integrated shopping cart running on your own server. Okay, and what you're going to do is, if like me, you don't have View API Signature here, if you have Request API Signature, go ahead and simply click on that button or link that's here, and that will generate your API username, password, and signature. Remember, this API username and password is not your normal PayPal login. It's not the same. It's different. It's going to be generated by PayPal for use with the API signature. It's going to have some things in it that resemble your normal login, but it's going to be different. So do not think that you should input your normal login and password here or here, because you do not. These all come from that API section here where you're getting API access in PayPal, and you're requesting your API signature. Okay, you come back in and you input those three items in both sections here. Okay, simple. You're done with that part of it. Now you're either going to go to x.com, or you can go to developer www.paypal.com. Okay, once you get there, you want to log in and you want to click on applications. It's probably going to ask me to log in again. And log me in, and you're going to go not to create application, you're going to go down to create and manage classic API apps. You click on that, it's probably going to ask you to log in again. Okay, now what it's done is taken me into the API developer portal for PayPal, and if you're in x.com, you're going to see the same exact thing in your application. You see here my applications. In the menu here you have new app or view manage my apps, and right now we're in the view manage my apps section. And when we talk about a live app ID and a test app ID, you can see here you have two different things. So for example, when you create an app that needs approval from PayPal based on your settings, you're going to automatically get the sandbox ID, and you're going to take that ID, of course, for example, and you're going to go back here to test and put your test app ID right there. Okay, now we go back to that page and we want our live app ID in the other location. And don't worry, we're going to go back and show you how to go about this in a second. So the live app ID goes here. So you have your other username, your password, and then signature will be something crazy like that. Okay, but what we need to do is click on new app. When you go into the new app settings here, you give your app a title, which can simply be your website name or social deals engine plugin, which you can do. Social deals plugin. Here you can use the same thing as other people, don't worry about it. Social deals plugin. We're running this on the web. And describe what the application does in detail. It says processes payments between site admin, sellers, affiliates, and affiliates from buyers of special offers and deals, selling both physical and digital products via WordPress plugin. Via a WordPress plugin, not plugins. There. That's it. Something along those lines. It doesn't have to be exact. It just has to be a general statement of what you're going to use. Industry and use cases. You're going to see here that there's not really any kind of industry and use case. But what you can do here is say, if you're doing a marketplace, just calling it a storefront, we're saying it's digital goods. More likely than not, if you're using multiple receivers with this and having multiple people engaged, the best thing to use is either marketplace or storefront, but use the thing that best describes how you're using the PayPal Adaptive Payments extension with the Social Deals Engine, how your site is primarily focused. It's going to help if they ever do a review, okay, or if they need to do a review of your application, okay. So for this instance, if we're going to be allowing different sellers to place products on our site, we're going to go with Marketplace, okay. Now we go down to services used by the app. And this is all very easy stuff. Adaptive payments. Now, we're going to be using basic payments, checkout, send money, or parallel payments. We're obviously going to do that. We're going to be doing get payment details and refunds or chargebacks. Do we want currency conversion on our site or not? Yes. Are we going to use chained payments? See, the difference here is when you use parallel payments, a parallel payment is simply splitting money between a couple people. If you have two of you who own a site and you are going to simply split admin percentage of sales, 50-50 split or 70-30 split, whatever, 50% split between two people on your site for sales that are made from deals, then you just keep it how it is right now. And the reason I say this is because it helps you with the approval process. Next, if you are going to have multiple sellers with your admin and then ultimately want to implement affiliates, when we get the affiliate portion implemented into the PayPal Adaptive Payments extension, then you want chain payments, okay? And now it's going to ask you, the payments to secondary receivers are instant or delayed. Now, for the case of how the plugin's set up, all these payments are set to be instant, okay? Next thing is, who pays the fee? We always set the primary receiver to receive to pay the fees, and that is right now the primary receiver is the seller. Whoever the seller is receiving the payment for the product is the primary receiver, and it could be you as the site owner. So who's the primary receiver? Seller, admin, okay? Who are the secondary receivers? Partners, vendors, okay? Very simple. Use whatever you're doing on your site. Be honest with it, okay? If you don't know, don't worry about it. Just add things that you don't, secondary receivers, affiliates, which could be partners, the same thing, okay? Now, keep moving down. We do not need pre-approvals. Funding sources you support for people paying you. Normally just accept credit card payments. Put down the monthly payment volume you expect. Average transaction amount, guess. Admins responsible for chargebacks or refunds. Do you have an acceptable use policy? Click no or yes. If you put a terms of use policy on your site, you can put yes or no. Now, we're not looking at managing PayPal accounts, so you do not need to use the adaptive accounts. Third-party permissions. No, we do not need this. Invoicing. No, we do not need this. Now it's going to ask testing information. Here in this section, the step-by-step payment flow instructions is simple. Buyer purchases product. PayPal payment goes to seller. Primary receiver. PayPal. Whoops. Payment goes to receiver. Partner. Secondary receiver. Admin. Buyer receives purchase. Normal. Shopping cart purchase using either adaptive or parallel payments. Put parallel. And I will take this, and this will be on the page as well. Put your test URL in here for your site, and give that PayPal an account name and password for your WordPress blog. Yes, I know this is not what everybody wants, but it's they do not mess with your site. They have a lot of integrity with this, and I highly recommend that you do this. All right, you give them the URL for your WP admin to go in to the exact page where the Social Deals Engine is, account name and password, and go from there. Then down here you can add in any kind of business proof of business registration, ID card of yourself, whatever. I usually just use like a driver's license or ID card here and upload it in. And would you like your application considered for listing in the app gallery? I normally say no. And then you can upload a logo for your app or business, but you do not need one. And then provide the live URL to the site, your main domain name here, and click on Submit App. And when you click on Submit App, what should happen, like I said before, and I didn't add the test name because I didn't put the test account username and password. I have to input that in again. So it can be whatever your password is for them. All right, and we click on Submit App again. And you'll see that based on the settings, they gave me conditional approval right off the bat, and a live app ID and sandbox ID right off the bat. So you input that in to your social deals site, like I said previously. And the next step, now you're done with this, which is really the hardest part of the whole process. Once you're done that, then you come down here and choose your payment type. Now, when you use parallel payments is strictly like splitting cash between you and your buddies, you and a couple friends. That's what parallel payments is an equal split going out. Chained payments is a process. All right, for most people, if you are splitting payments, as I said previously, if you are splitting payments between you and a partner for every sale on a site, you and 2 partners, 3 partners, whatever, then use parallel payments. If you are splitting money between yourself as a site admin, a seller / vendor merchant, and a JV partner affiliate, then you're going to want to use chain payments. Okay, now in the order here, the first name you put in is going to be your primary receiver. Okay, but you can only put a max of 6, splitting the total payments here. All right, the max splitting the total payments. Now, each email address must be split equally and add up to 100%. This isn't a total list of how many people can be attached. It's a total list of emails that can be attached. So, for example, your admin at yoursite.com, whatever, and then we put our / and say admin's taking 5%, we would put 0.5. Then next we put seller's email, their site.com, and they're getting 95%. That's it. That would be done. It'd be a total of 100%. Now, if you wanted to add more, you could change this to 45% for the seller, and then for partner at theirsite.com is you're being generous to your partner and you're giving them 50%. But remember, this first email is the primary receiver. So we want the admin to simply not have to pay any fees, as the admin, and we want the seller, the vendor that you're allowing to post deals on your site, to pay all the fees. Now we put them first. So they get the primary payment. Then you as the admin will get 5%, and that next partner will get 50% to add up to 100%. And you can have, like I said, you can have 6 different emails here, PayPal accounts. These all have to be PayPal accounts. You can have 6 here, but they all must add up to 100%. So this, you could say 15%, 5%, 20. So right now we have 40%, 10% for this guy. It leaves us 40% left. We go 20. and 20. So it's a total of 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 5, 70. I'll make them 20. All right, there's 100%. Or did I do? Yep, there's 100%. So there you go. There's 100% total. That's the max. And that's for the sales of this single deal, for a single deal, right? Not for each individual, okay? So understand that one deal, if your total price is $100 for that deal, you're selling that deal for $100, that this guy's going to get $25, this guy's going to get $5, this guy's going to get $20. Of course, that's going to be less than that because you're also going to have the first guy pay all the PayPal fees in that payment structure. Okay, so they're going to pay all the PayPal fees, that primary receiver at the top. So that's it right there. That's it. Once you have that, you're done. Your main settings are installed. But let's back up a second here. We can take this. We can delete it. Save our main settings here. And save. Our main settings. Then we go into add a new deal. And even if you have something set in your main settings, even if you have those settings in there, we go in here, we create a new deal here. We create a new deal in our settings here. We go to our PayPal Adaptive because we have that set. We go to PayPal Adaptive, enable PayPal Adaptive, and we input our receivers and we change the amounts for this deal. We change what they are. We say, oh no, we only want, for this particular deal, we have two guys. The primary receiver is getting 95% and the admin is getting 5%. They're the primary receiver. They're paying the fees. Admin's just collecting their cash. All right, that's it. We got to make sure it's on chained payments, where you can do a parallel payment for something like this. It's easy. You can still do a parallel payment because it's just getting paid at the same time. But I would recommend just using chain payments for that, and then do the rest of your deal settings. Price it out, set up your deal, and that's it. You can do this adaptive payment settings for each split individually per deal, and that's really the gist of it. The rest of it just operates just like a normal PayPal payment. That's it. That's all, guys. I know it was a kind of a long video, but there you have it. That's how you set up PayPal adaptive payments with the Social Deals Engine.